Look, he said on what he called on platforms, right? What he said on day to day. Now, fatal errors, incompetence. Now, look, is that not? That's just something that's a check and balance, dude. I must. I guess you can say that holds indefinitely, right? But who's never said that wasn't indefinitely? I said from month to month to day. You get paid for the month before, so that's it. Squash, right? So that's it. I want to know some other legal terms because they dynamically did that into a polygraph. What do you call it? You know what I'm talking about? Polyarch thing. No, you still talking about incompetence. I'm talking about like that's not even. So what about it? And so I never did work during the day. If I was going to be, I would be an executive chef. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of the business. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I'm industrious kind of guy. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I have like more horsepower, like to stand on my legs if it wasn't for certain circumstances. So, given that, you can't even say go back in time and say, oh, such and such. That's like going back in time and saying you should have did this, when in fact they could have said some of it and there wasn't no problem. So that record alone, on two lawyers talking right now as it is. Look at what it is. She said on what she said. She said on what it said they would have had a problem with it. That's it. So give it to her. That's over. That's it. There's nothing about it. There's nothing about it. So, yeah. So I was thinking about more terms and stuff like that. Because they did a dynamic tangent and like, oh, well, they sent forward into something else. And what was it they did? I call it a flip-flop. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, elementary, if you will, you know what I'm saying? In terms of like these ideas and stuff like that. I don't have the library of law books to be like, wait a minute, they just pulled off a switch, a grand host, and all the terms, you know what I'm saying? All the terms, the grouping terms of how they just like bundled it up and like, here, what about this? Now who's it backed by? Now who did that? I don't know. I don't even have representation. I don't even know what happened. I'm like, Chris, like, which one of y'all did that? You know what I mean? And something like that. Okay? So given that, now tomorrow, I'm gonna be like this on their days because I'm not. So that's it. On incompetence. What about incompetence? What about it? You force me to go back to work. No one will hire me, man. And talking about green screens alone, haircuts, no one will hire me. You know what I'm talking about? AutoZone was like, I'm not fucking with you because, you know what I'm saying, you're an occupational hazard. And I'm like, what about it? Dude, what are you forced to do with a fucking AutoZone that I haven't did it good, guys? You know what I mean? Well, you sell brake pads that maybe are like offset by like a S car from an SE car, you know what I mean? I'm like, what is it? And to be forced, and that's an idea in itself. To be forced to try to be more. I just throw isms in there. Because because if you're trying to force somebody who's disabled, aren't you doing that by force of discrimination through methods of discrimination to force somebody to work? So all the while trying to get somebody to work, you're doing a criminal action and to begin with, all the while through that method, right? You feel me? So that's it. So tomorrow I'm gonna be like that. That's in general.